Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
do you prefer Nick Tan or Darren Brown?
I like Darren Brown.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Nick Tan Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nick Tan, and on today's episode, we'll be taking a quick look at something on Penguin Magic called the Siri project, released by Amir Mughal. So again, before anything else, thank you so much to all my subscribers out there. Thank you for your support, because with you guys watching the channel, it means that I will try my best to continue to put out videos for you. Also, just a quick note, the giveaway for the trainer decks are still ongoing, alright? So the winners will be announced on the 9th of August 2021. I'll be giving away 2 decks of cards, one to help you learn Mnemonica and one to help you learn the Aronson stack. So if that is something you're interested in, please head back to the previous review video on the trainer decks to find out how you can participate in this very special giveaway. So when I first started this show, I used to review products that I personally bought, right? Mentalism and magic products that I personally purchased for myself. But along the way, I've got some creators who have sent me products, or at least requested that I review their products for them on this show. That said, if you are a creator of mentalism or mental magic related items, and if you're interested to send me your stuff to review, do bear in mind that, again, I'm not a professional reviewer. I don't do this professionally full time. So just to manage your expectations a little bit, you guys might have to wait a little while for the episodes to be released, right? A couple of weeks to a month maybe. Currently, I've got another 3 or 4 items in line, so I'm trying to work through those before I try to accept any more. But again, thank you so much for all of your interest in having your products appear on this show. This is not a big channel, okay? It's not a huge YouTube channel, but you guys wanting your stuff to appear on this show, it's a really nice feeling, alright? So thank you so much. So let's get down to today's review proper, right? So this review today is actually one of those products that was sent to me, and I was requested to speak about the product on this show. So a couple of weeks ago, Amir Mughal, I hope I'm saying your name right, Amir Mughal, he sent me an email asking me if I'll be interested to have a look at this thing of his called the Siri project. So I went over to Penguin, I looked at the trailer, and it looked interesting enough, so I told him, hey, alright, I'll do an episode for you. So what is the Siri project, alright? The Siri project is basically, it's not really an effect per se, I mean, on Penguin itself, when you go to the product page, you will see a couple of effects that are listed over there, but to me, it's not really an effect per se. The Siri project is more of a tool, alright, a tool for you to create your own effects with. So as the name suggests, it uses, the virtual assistant that is available on your iPhone. So let me talk you through a sample routine that is possible with the Siri project, alright? So perhaps you have a stack of index cards, alright? You just spread through them and you show the audience that on each of those index cards, each of them bears the name of a famous person, alright? A celebrity, for example. So all the cards are shown to be different. The packet is squared up and it's placed onto the table. You also can remove, a prediction of some kind, a folded prediction, a piece of paper. This can be handed to a spectator to hang on to. You then remove your phone, alright, your iPhone, and you explain to the spectator that, Siri is able to actually roll dice for you. And you demonstrate that by requesting Siri to do that. So you say something like, hey Siri, roll 2 dice, alright? And maybe Siri replies you with, rolling, it's 2 and 3. Alright, so Siri rolls dice and she will tell you the numbers, or he, depends on what you prefer. And now you hand your phone to the spectator for them to try. Okay, so your spectator will take your phone and they will ask Siri to roll a pair of dice. Alright, so they will go, hey Siri, roll 2 dice. And this time maybe Siri says, rolling, it's 1 and 3. So at this point in time, the spectator can change their mind if they want to. So let's say the spectator wants to change their mind and they do it again. So they go, hey Siri, roll 2 dice. And then now Siri says, rolling, it's 2 and 5. And so now the spectator says, alright, we'll use 2 and 5. So 2 and 5 makes 25. So the spectator is instructed now to pick up the packet of index cards and to deal through the cards, okay, to the 25th card. So they turn over the 25th card to find out which is the famous person they've landed on, and they see that the card says Nick Tan. So they turn over the 25th card and they see that the person they've landed on is Tom Cruise. So at this point in time, you request that they remove the prediction from their pocket or wherever they had it. They open up the prediction and of course it says Tom Cruise. Alright, so that is a sample routine that can be performed with the Siri project. Okay, so as you can see, it uses Siri on your iPhone. And in this particular routine, it can be done hands-off. Alright, the spectator is able to handle your phone. They are able to converse with Siri themselves. Now, while this is just a sample routine that I've given you, obviously it is, you're able to do other things with it because numbers are involved, okay? So you can actually do, book tasks perhaps. You can have a page number selected. You can then have a paragraph selected and then, a word selected in that paragraph, something along those lines, okay? So as long as you have a routine that uses numbers in some way, okay, you can use this technique. That said, there are also ideas inside the tutorial video, that teaches you how to use it so that Siri can name a playing card. So when you purchase a Siri project, it will come with a whole bunch of videos, okay, a whole bunch of video instructions. The videos are actually, from what I can tell, they are self-produced, okay? So Amir actually performs the routines, I think for some of his friends or family members. And then he will also take you through how to set up the routine as well, okay, the method behind the routine. The tutorial videos will take you through everything. There are performances of each of the effects, okay, I think there are 4 effects taught there. And then after that, in a separate video, they will, Amir will take you through how to perform the effect. Method-wise, this is going to take a little bit of setup on your part, okay? Well, it's not complicated, it's not difficult, it's not complicated, but when I looked at it, I thought it looked a little bit tedious, okay, but it's not difficult because most of the work has already been done for you in a way. You will just need to kind of download some stuff, which links will be provided in some of the PDFs that Amir will provide you as well. Download some stuff to kind of use with your phone. And then from there, you can then kind of customize the routine to suit your own specifications. Okay, so the routine is customizable. You can change the numbers or the cards and things like that. And Amir will show you exactly how to do all that. So it's not complicated, it's just a little bit tedious. My opinion, anyway. So on top of setting up your phone for the effects, you will also need to set up the actual props, okay, the physical props that you need, depending on the routine that you want to perform. If you're performing the routine with a deck of cards, or with a book, or with a stack of index cards as well, all these things, you do need to prepare them. Now, I'm kind of like on a kind of a middle ground over here because, for me personally, I started this whole journey of magic as a little kid. So I grew up in a time in magic when things were done without tech, without electronics, without tech. So I'm at a point where I kind of remember how things used to be versus how things are now. And to be honest, I am more towards like traditional ways of doing things. That kind of reflects in my choice of material when it comes to my own show, my choice of material, the choice of methods as well that I tend to employ in the routines that I perform. I'm not saying it's better, it's just the way my mind is wired, because that was how I learned magic. And now coming into the tech era of magic, right, with mobile apps and stuff like that, I personally find it a little bit complicated. Maybe I'm just lazy to learn, there's a bit of inertia, trying to get up to date with all these things. But like there's some things that I do use, right? There's like a, Tempest or Cipher. Those I find simple enough to use and they're quite useful. There's also, the Digital Force Bag, right, from Nicholas Einhorn. However, some of the more complicated apps, even though I have them, I actually bought them on impulse, I hardly use them because I just find it a little bit too complicated to use and to set up. So coming back to the Siri project, now this is not an app per se. In a way it is, alright, but it's more, I would say it's not really an app, it's more of a function that the iPhone has, a feature that the iPhone has, and Amir has actually found a way to use that function, alright, to perform this kind of effects. So what do I like about this? I think the Siri project is quite playful. It's got a very fun element to it. It's almost, interesting how you can use a virtual assistant to perform something in the real world. Also, it's got a very modern feel to it, right? Because it uses Siri, so it feels like a very modern way of kind of generating random responses. I like it also that it is performed hands-off, the spectator can handle your phone, they can converse with Siri by themselves, they can change their mind a couple of times, okay, just a couple of times. And it feels very casual as well, how you can, just ring in the phone, and if it's done very offhandedly, I think it can come across quite impromptu. So some of the things that I don't really like about it, it's not really a negative per se, probably it's just me. As I mentioned earlier, I found that the setup is a little bit tedious for what it does, alright? For what it does, I found it a little bit tedious. But then again, it's just me, because as I mentioned earlier, I'm more used to traditional ways of doing things, and I tend to find all this tech stuff slightly difficult to get around and understand at this point in time. So it can be tedious to set up for me, but it's not complicated, alright? I mean, Amir goes through everything very, very clearly. If you follow along, in the videos and the PDFs, you should have no problems whatsoever setting up your phone. And the only other issue I had with this is that while it is a tool, it's a clever idea, it's a clever tool, I found that the routines were too tightly tied up together with the method. Alright, and what do I mean by that is most of the routines that are taught used like cards of some kind, I mean, it's not a problem. I mean, they are different effects. You won't perform all these effects together at the same time. It's just that the applications that are offered in the tutorial videos felt a little bit limited somehow. I think there is kind of more potential for this to be used as part of something else, perhaps as a part of a longer thing. The numbers that are generated, if you just use them to count through cards for any card at any number or something like that, it's a little bit of a waste, I think. They could be used as part of a bigger thing, as opposed to just using, the named numbers to count down cards, right? I think they can be used as part of something else. But all in, I think it's a cute idea. It's a clever application of a particular function of the iPhone. And if you're looking for, a very cute little fun thing to have with you at all times, because you will have your phone with you at all times. So if you have this set up in your phone, you'll be ready to perform with the Siri project anytime, anywhere. So that's all I have to say about the Siri project. I'd like to thank Amir Mughal for letting me have this review copy so that I can chat with you guys about it here. In the next episode, I'll be talking about a product that I quite like. It's a product by a gentleman named Radek Hoffman. If you love envelopes, okay, mentalism, envelope type of routines, do remember to stay tuned for that. So if you don't want to miss that episode, do hit the subscribe button right now and the bell notification button as well, so you'll be notified when that episode goes live. So as always, guys, till next time, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again on another episode of Nique Chats.